the good old bugle, boys, we'll sing another song. Sing it with the spirit that will start the world along. Sing it as we used to sing it, 50,000 strong, while we were marching through Georgia.
Hurrah, hurrah, please bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free.
So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea, while we were marching through Georgia. There were many Union men who wept with joyful tears when they saw the honored flag they had not seen for years. Hardly could they be restrained from breaking forth in cheers while we were marching through Georgia.
Hurrah, hurrah, we bring the Jubilee. Hurrah, hurrah, the flag that makes you free.
So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea while we were marching through Georgia. So we made a thoroughfare for freedom and her train, 60 miles in latitude, 300 to the main. Treason fled before us, for resistance was in vain, while we were marching through Georgia.
Hurrah, hurrah,
we bring the Jubilee.
hurrah, hurrah,
the flag that makes you free. So we sang the chorus from Atlanta to the sea, while we were marching, while we were marching, while we were marching through Georgia.
All right, good morning, everybody. My mic is working. I've confirmed. It is Larsen Live, February 8th, 2025. We opened up with Tennessee Ernie Ford's rendition of Marching Through Georgia, which is a tie with the Bonnie Blue Flag for my favorite song of the American Civil War. Why am I playing that, you might ask? Well, because the title of the stream is Civil War II, The Goonening. Something very stupid happened. Well, many stupid things happened, both on the left wing and the right wing. And actually has to do with clown punching, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So I thought that the title was quite fitting. Now, you might be wondering why I said the goonening and not like the fappening, the whacking, the clown punching. Insert your favorite euphemism for masturbation here. Well, the kids today are saying gooning when it comes to flogging the dolphin, administering to the bishop. And I want to use the hip slang terms that the kids seem to like, because I am down with the kids, as you know. I am down. Mark me down. Anyway, so I was talking to the lovely Daphne the other day, and she showed me a very, very stupid news story coming from, I believe it was Mississippi. Basically, there is a state senator from Mississippi who wants to pass a very stupid law. It is the Contraception Begins at Erection Act, which would make it unlawful for a person to discharge their semen without the intent to fertilize an embryo. This is of course a very biblical definition of things. The sin of Onan and all that. Onanism. Onan the Barbarian. If you recall your Bible, Onan, he didn't jack off. I believe he pulled out while he was laying the pipe into his wife, and God smote him down upon the ground. Let me just pull that up right now. Yes, Onan, the second son of Judah, a figure detailed in the book of Genesis chapter 38. He married the daughter of Shua the Canaanite. Okay, he was commanded by his father to perform his duty as the husband's brother, according to Levirate marriage, in which you have to marry the wife of your brother should he die. Onan, he refused to perform his duty. He spilled his seed upon the ground, and thus Yahweh smote him down. Yes, Onan's crime is often misinterpreted to be masturbation, but is universally agreed upon by biblical scholars that Onan's death is attributed to coitus interruptus, in other words, pulling out. Yeah, so he my wife asked me what nonsense am I talking about. I'm getting to it. Yes, so anyway, this Mississippi politician, Senator Bradford Blackmon, who is in fact a Blackmon, yes, it would make it unlawful to commit the sin of onanism. There are fines involved, the third strike resulting in the loss of $10,000. 1 second. Okay. This bill highlights that fact that brings the man's role into the conversation. People can get up in arms and call it absurd, but I can't say that bothers me. I don't really approve of this. Of course, there is nothing wrong with, either Old or New Testament. But, you can't legislate that in law, is what I'm saying. Bishop Slinkovich says, hello, sir. Ponythroat says a couple of things. First of all, Running Through Georgia, the Ballad of a Skank. I don't know what you're referring to. He then says the Goonies are involved, Five-Knuckle Truffle Shuffle. Not the Goonies, it's the Gooners. Ponythroat makes a joke about Onan's carpet. I don't know if the Bible does not specify where exactly he was doing this. Anyway, yes. There's nothing wrong with religion, either Old or New Testament, but I don't approve of legislating morality. And this is why I specify that this, if anything, might set off a second civil war. As the body of the law specifically says you can't discharge any semen without the intent to have pregnancy. That includes masturbation. And I don't think you understand, Bradford, just how desperate the lives of many American men are. Millions of American men, in fact. Millions of American men are just seething cauldrons of rage and self-loathing, barely kept in check by cheap caloric slop and internet pornography. You, sir, if you ban one of those outlets, you're going to set something off, and I don't think you're ready to deal with this. You are not ready for this, sir. The beta uprising will begin the second that you ban masturbation. Am I the only person who's understanding this? This is a very bad idea. At the very least, you think your own sense of pragmatism and self-preservation would, keep you from doing this. Shinseki Evans says, even in the South, it won't pass. Yeah, I agree. It's not going to pass. And it's really dumb. To even try to do it. Sorry, I got a bit distracted by school-related emails. Yeah, I agree. This is not going to pass. Like, you take people's freedom to whack off. You're going to set something off, and you are not ready for this, sir. You're going to turn one type of goon into the other type of goon. You're going to turn the masturbatory goon into the cave your head in with a lead pipe kind of goon. And I don't think you want this. Okay, let's check out some comments here. Bish Lankovich says, I think there's some other things that may lead to a second civil war, i.e. the FBI coming at the president over firings, also breaking up the National Department of Education, appointing drunks screwed. Yeah, it's not great, but, I hate to say it, but yes, the average person is not really down with, like, ideals and things. Most people want to, have, like, their base desires met, food and whack-off material. As Voltaire put it, no revolution has ever been fought on a full stomach. And I guess Voltaire could have amended that to say, no revolution has ever been fought on a full stomach and empty balls. I guess, I don't know if Voltaire ever corresponded with the Marquis de Sade, but I think he should have. Daphne says, wow, look at all the anger about someone making decisions about your body. I wonder how that must feel. Well, I certainly don't approve of men controlling women's bodies either. I mean, we've discussed this many times. Anyway, yeah, speaking of stupid crap going on, let's see what else is going on in the land of stupid crap. That's a bit of a trick statement because every land is the land of stupid crap these days. Okay, so there's a bit of a tiff about the Panama Canal. The president of Panama raised the prospect that if pushed, Panama could relate by opening up the choke points of migrants heading north from Colombia. If things become worse, Valladares said, we'll just open up the floodgates. So in other words, this man is acknowledging that his people and his neighbors are biological weapons, essentially. That's, why would you admit that, sir? First of all, I don't think that's true. Secondly, I think that's pretty insulting to say to your own people. And thirdly, do you not have any shame? It's like, yeah, my people suck, so I'm going to inflict them upon you. Nah. By the way, I'm not sure that'll work, considering that Mexico's southern border is, in fact, highly militarized. They might just let them through just to, stick it to the gringos. Okay. Alpha Rodriguez says, banning porn would take away a scapegoat at least. A scapegoat for what, sir? Like men being fuck-ups and losers today? I mean, porn's a symptom, it's not the cause. Shinseki Evans says, what is this guy's motivation for this? I'm going to assume it's like, he's like a biblical literalist and he wants to make, American law based upon, in particular, Old Testament law, which is a bit strange because I'm going to presume this man's a Christian. Yeah, I don't know what the logic is behind this. My wife says it's a stupid idea, obviously. It doesn't feel good knowing you have no say in it. I agree. I've always been in favor of abortion and birth control and all the things that the ladies want. Ponythroat says, no lottery's ever been conducted without a few cheeky shenanigans. Voltaire. Yeah, him and the McDonald's, Monopoly people. So yeah, Panama just illustrates something that John Dolan, the war nerd, has said many times. Modern day warfare is more like casting a theatrical play than actually just going and shooting. And if you have to use your own you use your own people as a combination of, a sacrificial lamb, a battering ram, and shedding crocodile tears for the camera, then that's probably more effective than just going in and shooting people a lot of times. But yeah, personally, if I were the president of Panama, I would sit on that. I'm going to tell you, today's going to be a fairly short stream, not the least of which is because I have a haircut at 1:30. But anyway, people are a bit upset that Elon Musk and the DOGE Department are appointing a bunch of unvetted, college kids to deal with government efficiency. Some of them seem fairly intelligent. Like, I gotta say, this Luke Ferrator, despite his somewhat silly name, he apparently decoded ancient Pompeian scrolls using AI, and I think that's fairly cool. Not gonna lie, I mean, there's things I certainly don't like about the Trump administration, but, the fact that he's tapping into, this untouched market of, young, bright kids from bumfuck prairie states, I think that's actually pretty smart. We have the talent, we have the technology, we just don't utilize it. I've also said on the stream several times that, flyover hicks who, have too much time on their hands are an untapped resource in America. Several famous and innovative people have done so. But nobody seems to address that. Alpha Marigi says, porn is a scapegoat for men not being successful with women. Yes. Well, I mean, I feel like it's like men who are kind of losers would tend to gravitate towards porn. Pornthroat says, Luke Ferrator, the Master Blaster clone from the Mortal Kombat game. I said the exact same thing when I saw his name, sir. Biff Slankovich says, Trump, no answer when the newscaster asked him how Musk sitting behind the Resolute desk of the cover of Time magazine. Oh, well, I guess we'll have two presidents behind the Resolute desk. Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. I mean, Woodrow Wilson's wife basically ran the government after his stroke. So, there's a lot of things I don't like about the Trump administration. I do like the fact that he's offering refugee status for Afrikaners. I do enjoy that. That's good. Maybe in his wonderfully chaotic and crazy way, he might actually do something good. I have my doubts, but, I'll give him a shot. But just in case you thought that things were going good, well, not so much. Speaking of the Trump administration, and boy, a lot of these stories seem to intersect with this whole affair. Boy, it's great that American government's really the only government that matters in the world. Things have been going on with USAID. Audits are going on about what USAID is spending its money on. And the results are not good. I made a joke last time about Buttsex in Botswana, but it basically is that. We're paying for, transgender operas in Bolivia and, gay porn in Chile. I don't know what the end game is here, but, I hate to break it to you, but a lot of countries don't have the same values we have. A lot of countries won't do well with this. A lot of countries don't approve. By the way, I find it absolutely hilarious that, the Twitter and TikTok communists are still screaming about how, America is a white supremacist, fascist, right-wing state, and then you look at what we're spending money on around the world, and it's literally, AIDS medication and, drag queen seminars. Oh, my stars, the fascism. Such fascism. Much white supremacy. Shinseki Evans says, God only knows who was president during Biden's term. Not a peep about that from the MSM. Alpha Marigi says Elon cutting spending could only be considered a coup if you consider unelected bureaucrats the real government. I mean, in a manner of speaking, yeah. It's been managerial for a long time. Alpha Marigi says cutting gay race communism fund is literally fascism. I've also heard some rumors about many YouTube bread tubers like Slime Beast and Vouch suddenly getting real quiet once the USAID money dropped off. I'm not going to pass judgment. I don't know if that's true or not. But we shall see. Also, USAID literally funds like news teams all around the world. And I don't know what the end game is here. I mean, not the least of which is that the American, kind of intellectual consensus has literally been for several decades that America sucks and we need to like constantly whip ourselves and waddle around in a sense of shame and self-loathing. But yeah, this is going to make everybody like America. I will point out that nobody hated America before we started getting involved in their affairs. Just saying. I mean, you want soft power, just make like Hollywood movies and TV shows. Reruns of Friends and Seinfeld have done more to promote positive images of America than all the goddamn USAID, sorry for the blasphemy, all the damned, drag queen operas and transgender parades. But I guess that's not an option. Alpha Marie says, my dad is misguided enough to think Hassan is smart, but he recognizes USAID as a CIA spinoff and disgusted with it as such. I'm pretty sure Hassan was getting USAID money. I think all the bread tubers are. Yeah, I mean, Vivek Ramaswamy talking about, we should get rid of Friends reruns. I mean, Friends reruns have probably done more to promote American interests globally than all the USAID funding in the world. Even Saudi Arabia likes Friends, and they hate everything else about America. Not to be outdone, the Canadian version of USAID is like the Canadian Global Development Fund or something like that. They've also been spending money on silly things, like building toilets in Ghana and multi-million-dollar campaigns telling them to not poop on the ground. The results have not been effective. Don't shit on the street, children. Not to be outdone, the Great White North, after decades of seeing Mounties trample old ladies and bringing in the entire population of India, they're finally taking a stand against America for Trump's tariffs. Liquor stores are removing American beers and liquors, with signs saying buy Canadian instead. I personally think it's really funny that a country that literally bragged about how, we have no identity, we're post-national, we're not, nationalistic chuds like you evil Americans. Yeah, all of a sudden, they become hardcore nationalists overnight. And by the way, Trudeau literally said, I dream of Canada being the first post-national state, a state with no identity, like a multicultural, multi-ethnic state. I suppose this isn't that much of a change, considering that Canada's identity has to a large extent always been just do the opposite of what America does. But, whatever. Hey, if you don't want to buy American food and drink, that's fine. But I also have a right to laugh at you, sirs. Okay. Ponythroat clarifies that, yes, I meant Thought Slime, not Slime Beast. Yes, Slime Beast is the creepypasta author. And I actually do enjoy Slime Beast's writing. I mean, I don't know if you say he's a complete tool. I don't know about that. I mean, when it comes to the creepypasta community, there's a few winners there. Didn't Mr. Creepypasta, molest some teenage girl or something? But yeah, I was not aware of Slime Beast doing some dick moves. I do enjoy his stories. Shinseki Evans says that one hack H3H3, he became a millionaire overnight somehow. Hey, I mean, I can mindlessly recite political talking points. Can I have some money, Trump administration? Ponythroat says Justin Trudeau's identity is Kiwi. Kiwi shoe polish. Well said. I mean, even, I'm reading a thread, even Canadians are basically saying, yeah, like, to a large extent, the only identity we're allowed to have anymore is we're not America. It's kind of a shame. Yeah, it's just stupid government all around. It's not great. Speaking of stupid crap, let's not leave America alone, because there's certainly stupid crap going on there. Okay. Just when I start to come around to some of the things Trump is doing, another Republican does something stupid, and it reminds me of why I hate the Republican Party. Breaking news, February 3rd. Republican Congressman Andy Biggs has introduced a bill to abolish OSHA, the Occupational Health and Safety Administration. Oh, it's spoonerisms. Self and Safety. The Occupational Health, Safety and Health Administration. The entire text of the bill reads, the Occupational Safety and Health Act is repealed. The Occupational Safety and Health Administration is abolished. How about no? There's a certain type of Republican who's just like, we need to get rid of a regulation. We need to get rid of anything that prevents, factories from making just obscene wealth beyond the dreams of avarice. Oh no, we have safety equipment. We have to spend a little more money and we'll make slightly less profit. This is a violation of my freedoms. How about you go fuck yourself, sir? These are the people who are like, oh, we need to... I guarantee you this guy is also somebody who's like, we need to have infinity, illegal immigrants. Because, we need to beat China and beat India. So apparently the way that you beat China and India is to make yourself equal to China and India. The way you beat China and India is by having the exact same piss-poor working standards they have, so we can all start dying on the job. Huzzah! I'm pretty sure that Andy Biggs is almost certainly a guy who has never done a hard day's work in his life. So that's why he would say something like this. I guarantee you this guy was to the manner born. He has dainty, soft little hands. As somebody who has busted his hump, I can safely say that I like safety precautions. They're good. They kept me from dying on the job. There's literally like a whole internet subculture watching like live leak videos from China of people dying in industrial accidents. I guess they want that in America too. Yeah, drive more idiot Zoomers to, the Little Red Book app so they can imbibe more Chinese propaganda about how evil America is. America's got a lot of problems, but I can say, yes, we do have higher standards of living than China. We do have better workplace safety standards and less working hours. and things. They got that 996 crap. But, there is a certain type of predominantly Republican lawmaker who just sees, 12-hour working days and no safety standards. They just get massive erections. Okay. Ponythroat says, fun fact, I first heard of vouch and I mistyped zouch. What the hell is zouch? Okay, user page of Zouch Fur. Okay, so he's a famous furry artist. That's wonderful. Okay. Alpha Marie says Canada's 22 Minutes has a better Trump impersonator than the U.S. Okay. Alpha Rodriguez, Ponythroat says H5N1 got rich of the Vape Nation meme in like 2014. Alpha Rodriguez says, beat China and India what? Killing baby girls? I mean, these are the people who worship, like, the stock line go up, GDP line go up. And yes, China has made tremendous leaps and bounds in, in their standard of living up and things like that. I'm not taking that away from them. But they still have bad working standards and working conditions and safety compared to us. The Foxconn factory literally has nets outside the windows because too many workers have jumped out the windows trying to kill themselves. But all they see is, line go up good, herder. So, if the line goes up, that means we win. So we're going to bring back manufacturing to America, but we're going to get rid of unions and occupational safety standards. So, we can bring back the company store again. Yeah, speaking of Tennessee, Ernie Ford. Biff Stankovich says, tell me, why did 90% of my students not get up to recite the Pledge of Allegiance? How many do it in your school? Not too many. I don't really enforce it, to be honest. I mean, I've never really liked the idea of doing, like, mandatory pledges of allegiance. You should earn my allegiance, and frankly, you're not earning it right now. Shinseki Evans says, we'd be like China without OSHA. People getting sucked into machines and only apathy in response. I mean, that did happen for many years in this country and England and France and many other countries. I literally was teaching the Industrial Revolution a couple of weeks ago. I had to tell them about, the little, snatchers or whatever who had to pick up the little bits of lint, and kids were getting, their arms ripped off in the machines. Kids were dying in coal mines. Apparently we want to bring that back. Biff Slankovich says, hands like Trumpies. Hey, do not impugn Trumpy. He was a very nice friend to little Tommy in the pod people. Trumpy, you can do magic things. It's called evil, kid. Anyway, Mystery Science Theater references aside, Biff says, having built Chevys, I do feel protected by OSHA laws. I mean, hey, I've done plenty of crap too. Like, I've moved furniture, I've worked construction. I mean, OSHA's there for a reason. I mean, I've been a janitor too. I mean, I guess that's also OSHA protected. Alpha Marie says, China made the line go up after putting it in the gutter after the Cultural Revolution. The CCP lifted people out of extreme poverty that they put them into in the first place. Yes, that is true. It makes me laugh when those idiot Zoomers are like, wow, communism's great. I mean, China literally killed tens of millions of their own people through sheer stupidity, and they only started to get better once they, eased up off the hardline Maoism and brought in some, moderate capitalist reforms. But of course, they don't talk about that. I mean, in fact, if anything, I would argue that China's probably more fascist at this point than communist. What with forced Sinicization policies, essentially being a massive militaristic ethno-state. And it really is like corporate and state power kind of shared. Dare I say, Alexander Duggan and the Nazbols were right. See what else we got here. Oh, speaking of the Soviet Union and communism, something I read was a thread that was actually pretty interesting, talking about the paradox of the USSR, which again is kind of interesting. Basically, it preserved 19th century bourgeois culture longer than any other place in the world. Despite being aggressively anti-bourgeois, the upper classes of the Soviet Union were still, playing piano in the foyer for guests, dressing their little boys in sailor suits, sending their daughters to ballet class, etc., etc. They appreciated opera and novels and things. And I think I know why that is. It's because when your material goods are crap and you basically don't allow any cultural creativity, you go really hard on like the classics so you can have something to brag about, which I suppose it makes sense. I feel like to an extent upper class Chinese people are kind of similar, that they really educate their children in very bougie sort of ways. Yeah, maybe as America declines, we'll preserve some semblance of bougie culture. Or maybe not. Considering that my students, speaking of the idiot children, they seem to be under the impression that cell phones existed at the turn of the century. I asked a rhetorical question in class. The gay 90s and the early 1900s had new and exciting technology. What were some of those technologies? And they're saying like flip phones and cell towers. Jesus fucking... Cheese and rice, kids. And obviously I don't expect you to have studied, the gay 90s, La Belle Epoque. Haven't you ever watched like Looney Tunes or something? Like they have episodes in that time period. My God, the kids are stupid. Ponythroat says, who is expecting the mandatory poverty to apply to friends of the government anyway? Yes, bear in mind that preserved bougie culture was basically, for the upper echelons of, the Politburo and those that, ran the Soviet society. Ponythroat says, turn of which century? The 20th century, sir. I said the gay 90s, not the apathetic 90s. La Belle Epoque. Then again, I did also have a kid who, I swear to you, she kind of implied that she thought that the world was black and white before the invention of like color photography. Even the other kids were kind of dunking on her for that. I still don't know if she was joking or not. I'm gonna not give her the benefit of the doubt. No, I don't have much hope for the future. Ponythroat says maybe they thought you meant the other gay 90s. Yes, that's what I was thinking. And finally, this coalescing everything, the dumb kids and the poor work conditions. Amazon, pause for laughter. Amazon is doing something wonderful. They have like prime delivery trucks, but they have like pedals in the cab. I don't know what the hell kind of like yabba dabba Flintstone bullshit this is, but I swear to you, there's a guy, he's pedaling this Amazon truck. It is a new toll-free, fine-free, insurance-free vehicle. But he's pedaling it, and I swear it's not moving. I really think this is like an actual truck that they just kind of gutted a little bit, and the guys are trying to like pedal it, but they can't. mean, are we officially a third world country now? We have like pedicabs, tuk-tuks, rickshaws, whatever you want to call them. I mean, I don't know what you can even call this thing. It's like a truck, but it has a pedal in it. It's smaller than a driving truck, but it's bigger than your average pedicab. This guy's literally wearing a bike helmet inside this thing, and he looks like a moron. Remember when America used to like be a modern country? Remember when American technology and living standards were the marvel of the world? Yeah, I do too. I mean, I was born in the 90s, so I only have like the dimmest memories of those times when America didn't suck, but yep, it's just put a nail in the coffin. We're done here. Alpha Rodriguez says, Warner Brothers totally fumbled the Looney Tunes rerun machine. A lot of kids don't know who Bugs Bunny is. I mean, I am aware of that. Yeah, that's a complete shame. I mean, it wouldn't help if you didn't try to keep rebooting them every 10 seconds and they just sucked constantly. Although, I do have to say, like there's like those HBO ones that they came up with couple years ago. And those ones are actually really good, like those new Looney Tunes. It's a shame that I don't think a lot of people watched them. They were pretty good. And Paul Rudish did like new Disney shorts too with like Mickey Mouse and stuff. Those ones are actually pretty good too. That was around 2013. But I mean, it's kind of a shame that like they are actually making good like new short cartoons and nobody seems to care. Now, if only, like, the great-great-grandsons of the Fleischer brothers could unfuck the Popeye franchise, then we'd be styling. I'm sure Tex Avery has some grandkids they could make some money, too. Yeah, bring back all the old shorts. Biff Slankovich says, one course in my school was a peace seminar where they had to present the project that was cell phone abuse by students. That's a good thing. Pony Throat asked, do you have kids who, when presented with a PC, they ignore the keyboard and mouse and instead touch the screen? I mean, the kids are issued Chromebooks, so I don't think that's like too much of an issue. Ian Kemster says, best thing HBO ever produced was Gotti, 1995. I never saw it. Pony Throat says, Amazon has gone full third world and started giving drivers rickshaws. I mean, kind of, but they're like these, power rickshaws, which apparently, like, they're too heavy to pedal. I mean, you got to be strong as hell to pedal these things, so I guess that's going to be one good thing from this. It's going to cure the obesity problem by having these massive, like, half-ton steel rickshaws you got to pedal. Okay. Ponythroat asks, what about Lunatics Unleashed? I'm going to ignore that. Alpha Rodriguez says, the Looney Tunes show, which is sort of like Seinfeld, has a strong fan base. Yeah, I saw a few episodes of that. That wasn't bad. I don't know, but it just seems like they keep throwing things at the wall and like nothing really sticks. I really hope that they do those HBO ones, like another season of those, because those ones are actually really good. Shinseki Evans says, Popeye and olive oil are public domain now. Yes, as are the other oils and ham gravy and, but not Bluto, apparently. The other characters will be in the coming years. Okay, good, because I have a rough idea for how you could do a Popeye movie, and it wouldn't, it would be pretty cool. It would basically be kind of like Demolition Man, but with punching. Alpha Marigi says, Gen Z's inability to torrent annoys me. Yeah, I have noticed that. Like, they don't know what torrents are, and that upsets me a bit. Dare I say that us millennials are the only people that really know how to use computers well. But yeah, the Amazon truck thing is embarrassing. Like, why would you just put them on an actual pedicab? What is this weird, like, humiliation ritual? Some, like, weird Flintstone car. I don't get it. Yeah, this is wagey as hell. I mean, you're basically in the wagey cagey 9000. A post in the thread shows like Mr. Garrison's It machine from South Park, where you have to steer it by like shoving the thing up your ass. I mean, I feel like Amazon's like one step above that. I guess next year we're gonna have like the It machine that you have to plug into your anus. But anything to save a buck, right, Bezos? Ponythroat says Gen Z does not even know how to apply manual cracks to pirated games. I don't know, like I don't think like the Zoomies they don't even like play games. They just watch like YouTube videos of games. Anyway, that about does it for my prepared remarks. Alpha Mariga says he's tired of humiliation rituals. Yeah, I'm also tired of humiliation rituals. And you know, like these humiliation rituals are designed by bosses who have never worked an honest day in their life, because if they did, they wouldn't do this. You know, you wouldn't have like Amazon, you know, Fred Flintstone-mobiles, and you wouldn't have, you know, Walmart wagey shuffles. And yes, I have shown videos of the wagey shuffle when I taught, you know, economics classes. It was a silent warning to the children. You know, if you don't study hard, this is going to be you in the future. You're going to be, you know, singing, we are Walmart. Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, you know, props to Germany for, you know, Walmart tried to open up stores in Germany, and they tried to do like the little wagey shuffles, and they were just like 9. But yes, that does it for my prepared remarks. Say your last pieces now, should you desire. Okay, for Larsen Halleck, this has been Larsen Halleck. All of you have a good day.